Peace, Israel, and Yah bless. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. The title of today's segment is Showtime. Once again, the title of today's segment is Showtime. We have seen over the last few days and weeks the many things that have taken place across the earth. Many of us are fascinated by it. Many of us are rejoicing over some of the things that we're seeing. But the purpose of this segment is to make sure that the children of Israel are not led astray, not confused, confounded, or misled. Brace yourselves, tighten up your jaws, do not turn to the left or to the right, or you will get hit in the mouth. We are to walk the straight and narrow way of the Most High's commandments. We're not to deviate to the right hand and or to the left. We are to walk the straight and narrow way. Showtime. Everyone is showing this and showing that. We will discuss a few points pertaining to some of the things that we have seen here lately that has resonated with the Israelite community as well as the Christian community and all the other religious factions of the earth. So this segment will remind the children of Israel that we are to adhere to the instruction from the days of old. And the Most High's words will stand and none other. All right, let's discuss the Russian vaults with the JC paintings. So Russia's President Vladimir Putin has revealed that has opened some vaults showing black JC, black baby JC, grown man JC, Mary, baby JC, the whole nine, right? And somehow our people have been captivated by this and fascinated by this, and some have even began to rejoice over this, thinking that this is some great revelation of some kind. It is not. We know clearly that the children of Israel are quote unquote black people, period. We know this. So there's nothing to rejoice in that regard. We are still in captivity in the many lands of our captivity at the very bottom of the barrel as it was prophesied. These paintings somehow are causing us to somehow gloat and somehow feel as though they have been vindicated in some way, shape, or form. But I will address these paintings and remind you of what we were instructed from the days of old. All right, when the Most High is speaking, when you go through the text, you go through the records of the prophets, you will hear him say, "Hear, O Israel." He never said, "Hear, O Christians," "Hear, O Muslims," "Hear, O Hindus," or "Hear, O Rastafarians." He was speaking to a specific group of people, a family of people. And we were instructed on the mountain, "Hear, O Israel, Yah is one." We were never instructed that he was three or he was a trinity. So we are to be mindful of that. The Most High made it plain that there is no Savior besides him. So anyone that's telling you there's another Savior besides him is incorrect. We have had many Saviors in times past, for we have been in many captivities before this captivity right here, which is our final captivity. We have been scattered in nations, individual nations in times past. This final time, we were scattered to the entire earth, the four winds. We can be found in all of these nations with the craziest of names, speaking the craziest of languages and crazy customs and wearing crazy clothing and taking a hold of falsehoods, i.e., the gods, lowercase idols of the many nations in which we have been scattered. So the Most High made it plain that he was one, and there was no Savior besides him. And in times past, when we were captive in the midst of the nations, he always raised up one of the house of Israel in the midst of our brethren. And we were delivered or led by that man. Moses is one example of that. Joshua is another example of that. No one needed to die to come back and deliver us. The Most High has been delivering us from times past, and he has always done it by means of raising up one of the men who was righteous in the midst of us. That blueprint will not change. It has never changed, nor will it. The Most High made it plain, before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me. We understand clearly that JC was in the womb according to the story. A baby has to be formed over a period of 9 months. Therefore, this is not God, this image that these Christians has presented to you. It is not God at all. For he had to be formed in the womb, and the Most High made it plain that there was no God formed before him, and there was none that was going to be formed after him. Therefore, it is just him. He is one. The Most High made it plain that there is no strong one besides me. That's what he said. He said, I know not any. Most High said, I don't know of any God besides me. So if you're worshiping anything or putting anything or anyone before me, you are in error of the very first commandment that I have instructed you, O children of Israel. I have just done a video making it plain, let the nations have their gods. What the children of Israel was given is something entirely and altogether different. Altogether different. So if the Christian man want to have JC, let him have JC. Whether it be a black one with dreadlocks or a white one with long stringy hair, let him have them. We were never instructed these things. And we are to understand that we are a people unto the Most High. We are his. And we are to walk in his instruction and not in the instructions of strangers. The Most High made it plain to the children of Israel, to whom will you liken me, that we may be like? In other words, the Most High was asking the children of Israel, who are you going to compare unto me? Who are you going to say that me and whomever, we are either one or we are alike? The Most High said there's no such thing. It is just him. There's no sidekicks with him. There's no son doing nothing with him. It is just him. So do not compare the Most High to anyone, and do not speak of the Most High sending his son or some nonsense like that. The law made it plain that everyone, every man, and that includes woman, will die for their own sins. No one has ever, no one can ever die for you. These are things that we are to be reminded of. The Most High stated, before the day was, I am he. In other words, before the day was even created, the Most High was there. Period. There's no sidekicks with him. Understand this. There's no JC with him. Next point. The Most High made it clear, I have saved and I have shown. Long before these strange gods came in the midst of you, O children of Israel. So the Most High has been delivering us before JC ever came into this picture. The Most High have shown all of his prophecies and his revelations to the children of Israel of the things that are to come. These things were not given to anyone else. So he has delivered us. He has shown to us things to come. He has saved us in times past. It has always been him and him alone. Long before these strange gods, i.e. this JC figure, came into the midst of us and we took a hold of this falsehood. The Most High made it plain that none can deliver from my hand, that no one or anything, nothing can deliver out of his hand. The children of Israel should know this plainly, for we have more churches than everyone else. We pray more than anyone else. We are much more committed to this faith for those of our people who are in Christianity than anyone else. We are much more forgiving than anyone else. We are much less vengeful. We're less vengeful than anyone else. So we have taken a hold of this Christianity. And the proof that this thing is falsehood is that we have not been delivered from it after all of these centuries, like the Most High has made it plain unto us, that we can go ahead and take a hold of whatever we want to in these lands. It will not prosper us at all. It will fail us. And it has. And some of our people don't recognize failure when they see it. This has not worked. It will never work. The Most High made it plain that he was the first and he was the last. And besides him, there is no God. There is no strong one besides him. If he's the first and the last, that means there was nothing before him. There was nothing behind him. That means he's one. I have to speak to you in a common sense fashion. That way you may understand. That you may take the time to go into this book and read it for yourself. That you may see clearly where the errors have been. Now, do understand that there's this thought process that the whole earth has been led astray. The whole earth has not been led anywhere. The children of Israel were not led astray. We were led into captivity. We were not led astray. So there's a mixing of words that's causing confusion in the house of Israel. And this confusion is being pushed by Christians that are of the house of Israel, and some men who claim to be Israelites teaching a Christian doctrine. We were led into captivity, period. And that's where we are to this very day. So as this confusion comes about, as we start thinking that this black idol that they have presented to us now coming out of Russia, you could probably find this painting or these paintings throughout Europe and everywhere else. This is a rehash. This is nothing new. It can't deliver us. It never has delivered us. And it won't deliver these Europeans either. So we are to understand, Most High, he is the first, he is the last. Besides him, there is no Savior. And we are simply to turn to the Most High and him alone and return back onto his laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts. And we're not to be misled into thinking that someone is coming here to deliver you. You deliver yourself when you step into that sanctuary. You know, every nation, these nations have bilateral agreements to where they have embassies, which is pretty much a space of land and a building to where that country is almost a sovereign country within another country, and it's known as an embassy. And if you were to get in some issues in a country, you can possibly slip into an embassy and find sanctuary in that embassy. A place of rest, so to speak, that you may not be gathered up by the government, by the host country. Do understand that the Most High has his embassy in all the nations. A place where you can find some solitude, a place where you can find some rest, a place where you can find some peace. If you go into it, you will find peace. And his sanctuary is not a building like an embassy of any kind, but it serves the same purpose. That's his law. These books are nigh unto you. They're in every language, in every country. So you find yourself in trouble. You find yourself confused, not knowing which way to go, not knowing what is right and what is wrong. What you do then, you step into that sanctuary, go into that law, go into the words of the laws and the prophets, and you read it. And you adhere to the instruction given there. And therein, as you walk within the confines of those laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts, that is the extension of the Most High's mercy. And in that extension of his mercy, by walking therein, you will find rest and you will find peace. Therein is your sanctuary in the midst of the nations. It is your only hiding place. So do understand, in the Most High's law, and he is not contrary, every man dies for his own sins. No one has ever died for you, unless it's some Egyptians. And we will get to that as it pertains to Passover. The Most High made it plain, my son is Israel, the nation. Exodus 4:22, the Most High told the Pharaoh, said, look here, Pharaoh, let my son go that he may serve me, because the purpose of the nation of Israel is to serve the Most High and to show forth and to bring forth his praise to the nations. That's our purpose. And the Pharaoh refused to let the Most High's son go, refused to let his sons and daughters go, who are the children of Israel, a bloodline of people. They're not connected by their belief. They are connected, i.e. via genetics. So the Pharaoh said, nah, I'm not going to let him go. Most High said, good. Since you're holding my firstborn, I'm going to kill your firstborn. And so he killed the firstborn man and beast in the entire land of Egypt. This is known as Passover, April the 14th. Now, the beginning of months is the month of Abib, which is April, springtime, everything comes alive. These people have told you that the year begins in the dead of winter, when everything is dead, nothing is growing. And the Christian brought you this. The Italians brought you this. The Romans brought you this, and you have bought it. And we'll get back to this once again. You have not been led astray. You have been led captive in the nations. You have not been led astray. You have been led by the way of your heart. Let me say that again to the children of Israel. This is specifically to the children of Israel. There's this rumor in the earth that the earth has been led astray. The earth has not been led astray. The children of Israel has been led astray, had been led into captivity. The people of the earth have always been astray. They have never had the Most High's law, statutes, judgments, and precepts. The house of Israel chose to go by the way of their own heart. They wanted to be like the people of the other nations. They wanted to be wicked and they wanted to be lawless. So they went by the way of their heart, and thus they were led into captivity. You want to be like these wicked people over here? Have no rules, have no scruples, have no morals, does not walk within the confines of law. They're not governed by anything. We wanted to be that. And the Most High said, fine, since you will not walk within the confines of my law and you will not come under my protection, I will deliver you into the lawless. I will deliver you into the hands of the wicked, into the murderers, the liars, the thieves, the enslavers. And after you have experienced that, then you will return back onto my law and I will deliver you once you do that. But while you're in the lands of your captivity, you can call on black JC, white JC, and whomever else. None shall deliver out of my hand. And so the children of Israel of all people should know this, that this is falsehood. We should. But we continue to fall for foolishness because there is that stumbling block within our hearts of these idols. This bad habit has been here since the days of old, that we have chosen to be like other people, eat their food, take a hold of their ways and their customs, take a hold of their daughters, and take a hold of their idols, their gods, and walk therein. And we continue to wonder why we keep coming up snake eyes in these nations, why we continue to fail, why nothing that we do works. The Most High said, hey, the works of your hands, I'm going to destroy it. I'm going to destroy the works of your hands. We have proof of this. Anything we build, our enemies will destroy. You can try to build it again, and he's going to destroy it again. And there's no one coming to save you from that destruction. You want to build a successful city, fine, he's going to flood it. If he don't flood it, he's going to burn it down. If he doesn't burn it down, he's going to blow it up. We've seen this thing in all the nations of our captivity. We've seen it. A man of Israel wants to raise up and save his people, and that man is not walking in that Torah, that man gets removed. There's proof of this in every nation where we dwell. So the Most High is continuing to say, he said clearly, Israel, you are my witness. A witness sees. We're bearing witnesses to the words of the Most High, the things that he said that will befall us, that he will do to us. And yet we see it and we don't believe it. We continue to see that this stuff doesn't work, and we continue to hold on to things that are profitable for nothing. Time is short, and you better start turning to the Most High's law, statutes, judgments, and precepts, because there will come a time when there will not be any time for you to go read this book and having access to this word. It will not be as it is right now. So while you do have the time, make sure you do the reading. I don't care what religion you're a part of. Keep in mind, the children of Israel, we were not given a religion. We were given laws. So I'm certain there's many different types of people that comes to this channel to hear this information. And my goal at this channel is simple. One, I'm going to show you where to look. You with your own eyes will determine what you see. And based on what you see, you act on it. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm telling you, if you're going to speak about this book and claim to be about this book, you need to know exactly what's in it, what it states, and what the requirements are of those who seek to walk in this book, in this law. That's all. So the choice is still on you, on the individual. You will save yourself. I can't save you. You can't save me. No one can save you but you. And you save yourself by stepping into that sanctuary, the Most High's law, statutes, judgments, and precepts, and walking in it. It's really that simple. It's a matter of reading, getting a clear understanding of what you have read, and then applying what you have read in your life, i.e., walking in the confines of those laws. Think of the Most High's laws as guardrails. The minute you go off the rails, you die, or you become severely injured. It's to keep you in a safe space. You're maneuvering within boundaries. In other words, a man that's walking in this law, or a woman, their actions are predictable based on any scenario. On any scenario. If they're walking in this law and XYZ happens, we know exactly how they're going to respond. If they're walking in the law. Someone who does not adhere to the Most High's law, when XYZ happens, there's no telling what their response would be. For they do not have confines by which to operate. They operate in a state of lawlessness. And this is exactly what we see in the midst of these nations. Absolute lawlessness. The Most High made it plain that my people shall bring forth my praise, shall show forth my praise. Not everyone is going to do this. The Russians are not going to bring forth the praise of the Most High. The Russians are not the people of the Most High. The people that will show forth the Most High's praise are his chosen, his elect, the children of Israel. And that will be his law. What we're going to do, we're going to present to the world the Most High's laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts. We're not going to present a painting of some black person that's supposed to be the son of God, when we already know that we are the sons and daughters of the Most High. We don't need to present you with a painting. We are it. We are the sons and the daughters of the Most High. There need to be any painting. If you want to look at the son of the Most High, they're walking around somewhere in your city. You want to see a son of God? You've probably got him plastered up on your channel, on your news, channel 7. That's who the sons of God is. Not some black person that's been found in a vault in Russia. The sons of God is scattered in all the many nations in which we dwell. And these people know exactly who you are. Some of us don't. I've done a video on this channel. Take a look at it when you get a chance. Your enemies will come. And your enemies are coming. They're coming to do harm to you, or they're coming to acknowledge that you are the sons and daughters of the living God, of the Most High Yah. But either way, your enemies are coming. And if you're not walking within this covenant, they're coming to kill you, and you have no protection in the process. We have been scattered to the four corners of the earth. We are sent to these nations for refinement. The Most High had us in the wilderness, marched us around for 40 years. Why? He was killing off the rebels. If you are rebellious towards my laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts, and you lack discipline, or unable to walk within the confines of my law, you will not be allowed to enter into the state of Israel, or in the nation of Israel, those borders that he has actually promised unto our forefathers. You can't go there and you be some type of renegade, someone that opposes instruction, that will go against the instruction of the Most High. So therefore, all the rebels were killed off. Caleb and Joshua made it into the land with the children. So what's happening in the midst of these many nations where we dwell? He's killing off the rebels. Simple as that. You see us getting killed left and right. In all manners, death in all of its manifestations. The Most High said, I will send evil after you in all of these lands. I'm going to send the sword after you. That's death. He never said he was going to send Satan after nobody. Most High does it all. I kill, I make alive. I wound, I heal, I kill. So when he sent evil after us, he ain't sent Satan. That's him busting our heads in all of these nations. And if you want any relief from this head busting that's going on, we turn to the Most High and none other. You don't turn to black JC, white JC, or none of that. It has failed you. And it will continue to fail you. For it is nothing but a dumb idol. All right. Most High has led his own people into captivity. And he has delivered us. He's led us into captivity in times past, and he has delivered us by the hand of many saviors. Joshua comes to mind. Moses comes to mind. Gideon comes to mind. David comes to mind. Think of all the different men that has led us against our enemies. These are men in whose heart was the Most High's law. So we have had many saviors before, and we have been delivered many times before. No JC required. You're to remember that. He has raised these men from the midst of our own families, of those 13 tribes. Our saviors have been raised up from amongst our own family members. There's no stranger coming to save you. It will be a man of the house of Israel in whose heart is the Most High's law that will lead the people in the way that is right. All right. Let's turn to the percentage game. The Most High states that 10% shall return unto him, a tenth. Now let's play this percentage game. Look at how many people right now want to say in the continental United States, we probably have about 40 million, 43, 45 million of our people here. I have no idea how many of them are in the Caribbean, Central, South, and Latin America. Many of them are in the Pacific Islands. All right, Fiji, Guam, etc. All of those places where you can find people that look like us. Many of them are also in the continent of Africa. Now, many of them may be sitting in Brazil. Brazil is one of the highest concentration of quote unquote black people outside the continent of Africa. So we have been shipped to the four corners of the earth. We have, let's call it 40 million here. A tenth of that is 4 million. All right, so out of the 40 million, if a tenth is going to turn back, 36 million has got to die. I want you to think of those numbers. Now, you have to ask yourself, if we're dealing with this numbers game, how many of our people are walking after a white JC or a black JC? Now think of how many of our people are walking after the Most High Yah, him and him alone. And tell me which number is greater. We present it to you one more time. We're playing the percentage game. 1/10 of the Most High's people are going to return unto him. Which number is greater? Which number is closest to 1/10? Those who are walking and placing their trust in the Most High's law, statutes, judgments, and precepts, and looking to be delivered by him and him alone in his law, or those who are talking black JC, white JC? I would say clearly, as far as I can see, the greater number of our people are walking over Christianity by itself, or walking after something that's a combination of both Christianity and what we've been giving in the days of old. There are Israelites teaching a Roman doctrine of this JC figure. And I don't see, in fact, I know that that's false. However, we are to make these decisions for ourselves through diligent study and reviewing the records of the Most High. So the percentage that's closer to 1/10 is those who have chosen to walk after the Most High, him and him alone. And it's not talking some nonsense about God had some son that died for you someplace. Now let's get into Passover. Quick summary of Passover. We're held in Egypt. We're slaves in Egypt. We're being beaten up in Egypt. We're being taken advantage of in Egypt, as we are being taken advantage of in America, in Brazil, in Honduras, and everywhere else where we're at. In Venezuela, in Panama, you name the place. In Canada, in England, in Australia, name the place where you can find black people, and you will find a nation that has abused and have made laws against them. And these people are staunch Christians and have been unable to deliver themselves from the brutality of their enemies. Proof positive that we are bearing witness to the Most High's words. I will deliver you into the hands of your enemies and those that seek your life. Anything that you have, your enemies are going to take, including your land, including your life, including your children, including your wealth. You own nothing in these lands. I've said it before, any Israelite in these nations that thinks he's rich, if you think you're rich and your money's being held in your enemies' banks, you don't have any money. Some of our brothers will never understand that. You're in the land of your enemies, period. And that's why they treat you like that. You are in the land of your enemies. You're to remember that. So we are in the land of our enemies in Egypt. We're taking all manners of abuse. We cried out unto the Most High. Most High is hearing the cry of the children of Israel. And he raised up one man, raised up a savior in the midst of us, Moshe and Aaron. Two brothers, two siblings of the house of Levi. And they would relay verbatim the words of the Most High to this Pharaoh. You're holding my son, the children of Israel. Pharaoh wouldn't hear it. Moses said, okay, fine. And then he killed the firstborn man and beast in Egypt. That's to remind the children of Israel. This is called the Book of Remembrance. The Old Testament, the correct term, the correct name is the Book of Remembrance, because the children of Israel, we have forgotten. The Most High wiped us clean as a dish and turned it upside down. So our memories have been clearly removed. Do you understand? And so when we go into the records, we understand clearly that this JC painting that you're presenting to us, that ain't the Son of God. I am. We are. Do you understand? And no one's ever died for us. Now, he killed the Egyptians on our behalf. And that's so the children of Israel, as we come up in these latter days and we go into these records, we understand why Passover was and what he did for us, being his sons and his daughters. Flip the script. We get captured by these Romans. They steal our records, switch the words around, and took the words of the Most High and said it's of no effect. And we have bought this thing because our memories have been wiped clean. And we have been led astray. And we've been taught doctrines that are harmful unto us. Remember what the Most High said, he will deliver us into the hands of our enemies. Your enemies are not giving you anything that's to your benefit. Let me say this one more time. We have been militarily defeated by these Europeans. We have been murdered, slaughtered, and enslaved by these Europeans and by these Arabs. They are in cahoots. Psalms 83. They're in cahoots against the Most High's hidden ones. They're in partnership. A partnership that the Most High is going to break up. He broke up our families, the 12 tribes, or the 13 counting Levi, and he's going to break up their partnership too. So we see clearly from the days of Egypt, when we were carried into captivity, we were enslaved and we were mistreated, and we were crying out to the Most High, and he heard it and he delivered us. We're in the many nations this time. This time it's more than one nation. It's more than Egypt. We're in the many lands of the earth, and we're crying out to him. We're not doing the sign of the cross when we pray before or after, because we understand no one has ever died for us. We are doing as we were instructed. We are facing Jerusalem from the many lands of our captivity. We are lifting our hands in prayer, bowing our heads upon our knees, no shoes upon our feet. And we are crying out to the Most High for the injustices that we see, asking for that great deliverance. And as far as I can see, that deliverance is not too far off. So in Passover, we understand clearly why this was done. You flip to these Romans, they're telling you it's something different. They call it Easter. They said that JC died for you and raised up in the third day. But the Most High's law states that no one can ever die for you. And the Most High states that you are the Son of God, O man of Israel. So who are we going to believe? Does the Roman trump the words of the Most High? Does the Most High change and say, nah, Israel, instead of you being my son, I got this other son over here. Now the Most High told the house of Israel, say, look, when a man is betrothed, engaged unto a woman, no man is to touch that woman. She is spoken for. She's betrothed. She is engaged to another man. That's like being married. No man is to touch that woman. If not, if he were to, they both were to be killed, and she would be defiled. We know the Most High changes not, and we know the Most High is not contrary to his word. So to even believe in this nonsense and to even repeat it would be blasphemous. You'd be blaspheming the Most High and calling him a hypocrite, because the Most High would have to impregnate a woman that's betrothed to another man. And he instructed the house of Israel that we were never ever to do such a thing. Not only that, the Christians is going to tell you that this JC is a miraculous baby. There's no one walking around on this earth that got born and there wasn't some sperm from another man. No such thing. So everyone's got a father, and there was some sperm involved for us to get here. So what these people are telling you is that the God of the whole earth, who made it plain to his people when he gave them his law, that you're not to lay down with a married woman, nor are you to lay down with a woman that's betrothed to a man. And he's going to say, you know what, scratch that. I know you're betrothed to this man, but I'm going to impregnate you anyway. Imagine that. Blasphemous, hypocritical is what they're saying of the Most High. And then they're going to claim that this is a miraculous baby, a miraculous birth. And then they give you a seed line to a man named Joachim. And of this man's seed line, the Most High said none of his seed will ever sit upon the throne of David. Ever. So they're caught up in all of their lies. You have the Luke, John, Mark, and whomever else, Harry, Louis, William, Bobby, bunch of Europeans. You see, when the cops catch 4 or 5 criminals that's accused of an act, they take them and put them in rooms A, B, C, D, and E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They separate them and ask them to tell their story. What you're going to get is 5 different stories because all of these jokers are lying. That's why Luke, John, Mark, and whomever else they're talking about, the stories don't add up because it's a lie. They're lying. No one has ever died for you. When this JC person supposedly came along, the children of Israel are already in captivity. We're gone. The Most High has cut off our prophets. He's turned his back upon us because we have turned our backs on him. And we're scattered to the 4 corners of the earth. We're gone. And then here comes this JC figure that supposedly is the son of God, when God made it plain in the beginning that his son is the children of Israel. No one trumps the words of the Most High. Period. And Israel, we have to remember that. So refrain from this joy that you may have over this nonsense. God's son is you. It's us, the house of Israel, in its entirety. No one man called JC, and no man has ever died for you, period. And once we remember that, then we will not be confounded. We will not be confused with this quote unquote new doctrine, because this nonsense picked up in the old, in what they call the New Testament. I've told you in times past, the truth does not get old, it doesn't get new, and it doesn't get different. The Most High's word is unchangeable throughout time. Anytime we reference this word, regardless of the generation that we're in, it's going to hold true, and it's going to stand firm. So the Most High has always been in the midst of his people Israel. He was there in the wilderness with us. If we did something crazy, he dealt with us right then because he's in the midst of us. The Most High did not need to take himself and make himself into a man to be in the midst of men. That is silly. That is as silly as you can get. And people believe this. When the Most High has always been in the midst of his people, why would he need to do that? That doesn't make any sense. And I'm going to tell you this. If God can't make sense, can't no man make sense. He is the highest level of intelligence there is. Period. So you are to understand clearly the Most High is exactly that. The Most High, higher than everyone else, that has given his people his laws. Now these ignorant, non-law abiding Christians will tell you, well, man can't keep God's law, so God sent JC, etc. And I'm going to use an example I've used in times past. I'm a parent. I have given rules to my child when she was in my house. I've never given her a rule that she could not follow. At one time I was a child. I had parents that gave me rules. At no time did they give me a rule that I could not follow. Did I break a rule or two? Sure. But it was based on my own heart, on what I wanted to do. They have never given me something that I flat out could not do. So, for those of you who have been children, and those of you who are parents and grandparents, you have never given rules to your child, to your children, and no rules were ever given to you that you could not, flat out could not follow. Flat out couldn't, it's never happened. So what the Christians are saying in blaspheming the Most High, they're saying that, you know what? A regular man wouldn't do something that stupid. But the highest level of intelligence, the Most High Yah, the God of Israel, or he'll do something as dumb as that. Regular man won't do it, but the Most High would. Do you see the blasphemy here? Not only that, he would give his people laws that they could not follow and then turn around and punish them generation after generation for some laws that they could not follow. You realize how stupid that is and how blasphemous that is. When our kids don't follow the rules of our house, we punish them. And you punish them enough, they correct themselves and walk after that law. They follow those instructions. The Most High is no different. He gave his children laws. We were given a land mass with boundaries, and we were to adhere to the laws of that space. And if you don't, then you get exiled out of there. He kicks you out, sends you to other lands so you can get punished. But you're going to follow these rules one way or the other if you intend to live here and to be under the Most High's protection. This is not hard to figure out. And don't allow anyone to tell you that the Most High gave his people laws that he knew they couldn't follow. Do you realize how unrighteous that is? That is crazy. But yet people are running around uttering this nonsense. This JC the Savior and all this. The JC never saved you from nothing. These churches you go to are nothing but houses unto idols. The Most High had his house in one place. One built by Solomon, the next one built by Zerubbabel. They were not there at the same time. They were both on the same exact spot. The Israelis sitting in that land right now, been there 70-some, 80 years. They can't put a brick down to build the first temple. You know why? Because they're not of the house of Israel, period. We are. And nothing gets built in that third temple or touched in that third temple until we are in those lands, period. So they are not the people of the Most High, and they will never be allowed to build that third temple ever. That third temple gets built when we are there, because we are the sons and daughters of the living God of Israel, period. And they have never had any peace while they've been in that land, nor will they ever. And in order for us to return onto that land, they can't be there. So look forward to them being removed. Now, as we've discussed, these folks can't get their lives straight. And these Christians, these Russians, do understand this, is that the Roman Catholic Church, based on lies, based on pedophilia, based on bestiality, based on homosexuality, based on paganism. The Roman Catholic Church out of Rome, they had a split. The split is known as the Protestant Reformation. So when the Roman Catholic Church split up, the Protestant churches became the new thing. The Protestant churches is what you know as the Christian churches, all the denominations thereof. Seventh-day Adventist, Southern Baptist, and you name it, it's a bunch of them. It's a bunch of them. All right? And these denominations of Christianity are known as the Protestant churches. They are the children of the Roman Catholic Church. It's nothing different. They don't walk in any law. In fact, all of their dogmas and their doctrines is contrary to the Most High's Torah. Not some of them, but all of them. So the Russians are what's known as Christian Orthodox. They, in fact, I want to say they used to, until at least a few years ago, they had to report to Constantinople, same place where they started Christianity, up there in Turkey. All right, because the Romans ruled that area. So ruled Constantinople, all the Roman emperors. So do understand that when you see these people in Russia, I want to say his name is Kirill. He's like the equivalent of the Pope, but in the Christian Orthodox Church in Russia. They were reporting to Constantinople. I want to say they petitioned to stop reporting to them, because it's all the same seed of wickedness. Period. I'm giving it to you straight. There's no other way. These are Christians, and regardless of their denomination, what you can get at the bottom line, the common denominator of Christianity is they walk in direct opposition to the Most High's laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts. They walk in direct opposition to the God of Israel. Period. There's no other way to put that. Next, these Ethiopians. You're hearing things about, oh, the Ethiopians have the oldest Bible. They've taken out part of the Bible from that was in the Ethiopian script. You also hear that the Ethiopians are holding the Ark of the Covenant and a whole bunch of other madness. First of all, there will be no more Ark of the Covenant. Last time we had it, that's it. You won't see that again. So that's one. Secondly, there's no Ethiopian that's holding anything holy like that pertains to us. In the house of Israel, only the Levites can touch and see these holy things. No one else could touch that. Not even a Judite. A man from Issachar couldn't touch that. It'd kill him. Most High is not turning over any of that stuff to no Egyptian. That ain't happening. An Egyptian holy Bible is irrelevant. Let the Egyptian have his God. We were never instructed to serve anything written by any Ethiopian. There are totally different bloodline of people. If you took me and put me up against an Ethiopian man, though we're both quote unquote black men, you could see clearly these two men are entirely two different products, different genetics. You cannot mistaken me for an Ethiopian. It ain't happening. And you can't come here in the West and mistaken any man here in the West, Central, South, and Latin America for an Ethiopian. We're of two entirely genetic stock, different. Two different genetic stocks, period. So why my people are caught up in some Ethiopian Bible makes no sense to me. We were given the Torah, and that was written by Israelites, for Israelites, by Israelites. I could care less what an Ethiopian Bible states. Most High never said he gave any instructions or any of his laws to Ethiopians. We've got to get real about all of this stuff and be able to see between the lines, so to speak, and put away all this foolishness that we've been given and turn back to the instruction that we were given from the days of old. Ethiopian Bible could care less about it. We are to go to the Torah, written for us by us, instructed by the Most High. And there's no Ethiopian holding no Ark of the Covenant nowhere. That stuff can only be touched by and handled by the Levites. These are things we have to understand. All these churches in these many lands, the Most High had his house in one place, one spot. We were instructed that we were to, regardless of where we are, or where we were to take our tithe and our offerings to the one place that the Most High chose. We were told that when we prayed to him, once we came to the understanding that we were the children of Israel, and he poured out his spirit upon us, Ezekiel chapter 37, and we become awake in these nations that we are the children of Israel, and we have learned how to make our supplication, how to pray to him properly. He said that we were to turn and face that house, that one city, that one place that he had chosen to lay his name. And that is the direction by which we beckon unto him, where we cry out unto him, where we make our supplications out to him from the lands of our captivity. From where I sit, there's so many churches so close to here to make your head spin. He told us from the lands of our captivity to pray towards that one city, towards that one house. Now, if I were to pray to the houses of Christianity, right here from where I sit, I'd be praying, spinning around in circles because they're all around me. And I hope you understand that point. So, Yah's people are Israelites. Let the Ethiopians have their Bible. Let the Ethiopians have their gods. Let the Russians, the Romans, and whomever else serve this black idol. or the white one. It doesn't matter. It don't pertain to us. They're going to do all that they can right now to cause confusion. However, the Most High is not going to confuse you. He needs you to know exactly which way to go. That way you don't get your head busted. And one fast way to figure this out is to go and read the instructions that he gave to the children of Israel by way of his prophets. This New Testament nonsense, this new God, our God and Savior JC, we were never instructed by any nonsense like this. Never. No Levite, the sons of Aaron, has ever, and I mean ever with a capital E, baptized an Israelite. You will not read no such nonsense. This is all Roman, Catholic, Christian doctrine nonsense, falsehoods. And these Russians have opened this vault showing you this black JC, and you're going to get caught up after this nonsense. But if you do, you're walking after the way of your own heart. You're not walking after the instruction that you were given. The Most High told you and told us, there is no God but him. The Most High told you, you are his son, O Israel. The Most High told you, the year begins in the month of Abib. The Most High told you he has holy, Holy days, not Holi days. So if you're walking after holidays and you're keeping Easter Friday or Good Friday and Easter Sunday and Easter and Christmas, then you are in error, because this is all linked to this Roman Christian Catholic idol called JC. I don't care what color you put on him. So you're walking in error, and there will come a time where you will not have the time to step back and switch sides. So this is to the house of Israel, that you may not be confounded when all of this madness is presented to you. Because right now, what you're going to have, all these nations, these Europeans, these Arabs, and everyone else that's conspired against you, it's just a matter of time. I've said your enemies are coming. And what they're going to do, they're going to do all types of things to get you on their side. Or they're going to try to be on your side. And you've got to know who is who and what's what. Because the Most High is going to make himself known unto us. He's going to make himself known unto his people. And it's going to be without a doubt when this is done. Because the death is going to be on a large scale. And all the inhabitants of the earth will know none of this is a coincidence. Why? Because the Most High's people, the sons and daughters of the Most High, the children of Israel, would have already told the people of the earth what is to come. None of this word is coming out of any other nation other than the children of Israel. And it's not coming out of anyone unless it's man in whose heart is the Most High's law. He's going to raise up men who are after his own heart. In other words, it's going to be men in whose heart is his law that's going to be delivering the message to you that you need to hear. And you can cross-reference and cross-check these men easy. Go into the laws, go into the books of the prophets, and if that man talking something that's in total opposition to what the Most High instructed the children of Israel, and what the prophets instructed the children of Israel via the Most High, then you know that man is not walking in the way that is right. This is not hard. The Most High has made it simple for us. Now the choice is simple. A, will you walk in the way of your own heart? Or B, will you go into the text and take the time to study? That way you don't just believe what you were told. You actually know. You have knowledge of. And therefore when you speak, you can speak with authority. You can speak with conviction. And you will be under the umbrella of the Most High's protection. When these Christians tell you Merry Christmas, when these Christians tell you Happy Easter, all you got to do is real simple. Tell them, hey, take me to the books of the laws and the prophets where the God of Israel ever instructed the children of Israel to keep Easter, Christmas, Lent, or any of the holidays that you keep. That's one way to cross-check him, to cross-reference him, to see if he's walking in the way of his own heart or if he's walking after the ways of the Most High's laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts. What I'm telling you, I can take you into these books and show it to you. The question is, what Putin has brought forth is nothing different than what these Christians has brought forth. The color is irrelevant. Doesn't matter. If it's false, it's false. Period. Doesn't matter who the character is. So, based on what they're saying, if you ask them, say, look, take me and show me the chapter and the verse where the Most High said he had a son named JC, you can find it. If you ask him, show me where, okay, JC, supposedly you celebrate his birth on December 25th, show me where the Most High in his holy days and his feast days, where is Christmas mentioned? Oh, you said JC died and went up to heaven for you. Show me where that happened out of the mouth of a prophet. Show me where the children of Israel were commanded to keep Easter out of the mouth of a prophet. They can't show you that. Because it's all lies, that's why. And I want you to understand these lies, and when they bring it to you, you check them. Check them. And tell them, you know what I'm telling you, I can take you in the book and show you. Now take me in here and show me Christmas. And they can't. So it's real simple, Israel. Pay attention. We were led into captivity. You understand? We were not led astray. We went astray because we wanted to go astray. It's really that simple. You were simply led into captivity. There's this thing about, oh, this is all part of the Antichrist. Well, man, before you have an Antichrist, you got to have a Christ, and there was no such thing. Ain't no Antichrist, just like there is no devil. You chose in your heart to go kill that man. You chose to lay down with that man's wife. You chose to rape that woman. You chose to sexually abuse that child. That was in your heart. The Most High led you in the way of your heart. Anytime we see something evil, oh man, it's the devil. Oh, he's got the devil in him, this, that, man. You can go to any jail in the world and rip open those jail cells. You won't see Satan sitting in there. What you're going to see is a man. A man that did something based on his own heart's desires. Satan ain't never did a life sentence. Ever. You can't find, hey man, there goes Satan right there. He doing 50 years for killing 10 people last week. No. It's a man in whose heart was evil. And he went after the evil way, and the Most High led him in the way of his evil heart. But conversely, if a man is seeking righteousness, the Most High will lead him also in the way of his heart. He will take him in the path that's righteous. So if you want to go down that dark, slippery slope, Most High will take you down there, if that's in your heart. But if you're seeking to serve him with your whole heart and your whole soul, he'll lead you there too. There's no Satan telling you to kill to kill somebody, to rape somebody, to be a pedophile, to be a thief, to be a liar. These are things you're doing on your own volition. It's you doing it. And so stop blaming and scapegoating your own faults. You have an error, turn to the Most High with your whole heart and your whole soul and ask him to heal you of that, whatever it is you've got going on. But all these evils that you see, it's not Satan. It's just a man that's anti-God. That's all it is. And a man that's anti-God has a quote-unquote satanic spirit. But there's no Satan telling him to do. All of Satan is someone who's against God's law. That's all Satan means. Or you're against God's law, well, that makes you Satan. Literally. So we've got to get this thing right. I did this 1 hour and 4 minutes to speak to you in a manner that you may understand. And you can cross-reference anything that I've said via this book. And there's many lessons on this channel by which you can review the Most High's laws, statutes, judgments, and precepts, where I'm actually reading this thing to you word for word. That way you understand clearly all that I'm doing here at this channel. I'm showing you where to look. You with your own eyes, once again, will determine what it is you see. Peace, Israel, and Yah bless. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy laws the truth. No one has ever died for you. This whole JC thing is nothing but one dumb idol. The sons and daughters of the living God of Israel, we're sitting before you in these many nations. You have spat on us. You have raped us. You have sold us. You have enslaved us. You have made laws against us. And for all the wickedness that you have done unto us, you will pay. Simple as that. For all the wickedness you have done unto us, your ways will be returned upon your own heads. For all of your dealings with us has been ungodly, and yet you have the gall to stand up before us and confess and profess that you are presenting us with a God, when all of your ways and all of your treatment towards us and all of these lands of our captivity has been ungodly. How do we know? We can take your treatment of us as a collective. We can take the laws that you've made against us. We have records of your enslavement of us and your brutality of us. It is worldwide. We all have the records of it. Not only that, you are an excellent record keeper. You know exactly who we are. You know where you have sent us. This European and these Arabs, these guys are excellent record keepers. They know exactly who's in their possession. And once again, for those of the nations, for what you have done to my people, for what you have done to us, for what you have done to the sons and daughters of the living God, you will pay. Peace, Israel, and Yah bless. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. For if you do not pay, then there is no righteousness. For we have paid dearly for our unrighteous acts against the Most High's law, statutes, judgments, and precepts. So if he made us pay as his sons and his daughters, do you think as strangers for what you have done that you will get away unpunished? You've got to be crazy. Once again, peace, Israel, and Yah bless. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. And peace to the stranger that will take a hold of the Most High's law, statutes, judgments, and precepts, that will wipe his hand from all wickedness in spite of him being a stranger, will read the Most High's law, statutes, judgments, and precepts and adhere to it. Peace to you. Peace, Israel, and Yah bless once again. Enjoy. I hope you've had a peaceful and a restful Sabbath. And more than likely, I will do another video here shortly that I've meant to do probably about 2 weeks ago, addressing the UN, the unrighteous nations. Peace, Israel, and Yah bless.